Hey, what's happening, beer world? Rod J back again to take a look at another beer. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. Going to take a look at one from Mikkeller out of Denmark, and this is actually their better half. So this is conveniently in a 12-ounce can. It is an American IPA, 6.8% ABV, 80 IBU. Doesn't really give many details on the can. As you can see there, again, they feature a lot of unique type artwork on their cans. Only thing it really tells you, brewed and canned by Sly Fox Brewing Company, Pottstown, PA for Mikkeller, distributed by our friends Shelton Brothers, Belchertown, Massachusetts, and again, the ABV 6.8%. A little more artwork there on the back of the can. So some neat looking cans here that they actually put out. Another one that I ended up picking up on a nice little deal. So let's go ahead and get this open and get it into the glass, since there isn't much more to talk about there. So there we go. I got it into my IPA glass here, and as you can see, it actually poured out a pretty big head, more than I was actually expecting. The head itself sits kind of tannish, off-white, a little more of a brownish than, say, a bone white, but you can see in there some nice tight bubble action on the head. As far as the body, you have that golden, not a deep golden, but kind of an orange golden, coppish type color. A lot of haze, not getting really any clarity. When I get it to the light, still a lot of haze and not seeing as much of the carbonation. So very dark along those lines into that orange type area. I didn't pour too aggressively, but still ended up with a lot of head there. Came out, as you can see, 4 fingers or so. So I'm letting that dissipate down a little bit. As far as the aroma, nice notes of citrus from the hops. You kind of get that tropical type sense of the notes. You do get some pininess and some dankness as well off the aroma. The head, as it's breaking down a little bit more now, it's starting to leave a little bit of a rockiness and starting to lace the glass as it goes down as well. I do like the citrus notes coming out, of course, and with an American IPA, you do expect that. I get notes of some of the like grapefruit, something like a little bit of orange, maybe like a little bit of a tangerine, but all the typical things you would actually expect to have. And if you haven't had one from Mikkeller before, they actually do make some pretty good beers from the couple that I've had recently, and I've known about them for a while, and I see a lot of good stuff out there, so I'm glad to finally get a chance to try some of their beers. As far as the taste, it is a little bit of a harsher type bitterness. I got in that first taste there, and I want to let it try to maybe warm up a little bit more. I let it sit here for a few minutes already, but I get a little bit more harshness on the back end than I do initially. On the initial taste, not as much as a bitterness to the tip of the tongue, but on the back going down, I do feel it a little bit more there. Flavors do open up in the mouth a little bit, that you kind of pick up some of those taste, I guess you could say, taste notes or whatever from the hops in itself that were used for the flavor. Get a little bit of that citrusy type action again. Carbonation, okay, maybe a little bit ramped on it. Good dry texture, a little more hoppier. It feels like it almost, when it goes down your throat, it kind of feels like kind of a scraping. Like it goes down the throat and it's just like you feel it going down the throat when you're actually drinking it. But from the initial to the finish, you do have a nice crisp break in there as well. Duration of flavor is pretty much average on the finish, so not lasting as long as some of the other IPAs that are out there, but nothing really bad either. I would say body on this one, a little bit more of a medium type body. Wouldn't be a bad beer to have like on a, as we're in the fall now, a little bit more going into the evening. Like you wouldn't want this on a really hot day probably. You might have one and you'll be okay with it, but I think it's a little more stronger of an IPA. You probably want more of a session IPA on a hotter day. But as we're now hitting some of the cooler type temperatures, maybe not a bad one to go into the evening to sit back and enjoy this one. I like the feel of it, but I'm a big IPA fan, so it's not one that's going to really stand out that I would probably remember this one compared to some of the others. But I can definitely drink it. I would definitely order it if I was out somewhere and I'd drink it again. So in the style assessment, it does okay hitting the style. A little more thinner than I would want it to be on that IPA, but does have all the other qualities with it. Not as sturdy as I would like on the texture, but overall, not a bad one. And so you just see if I fill my glass back up, some of the lacing. So nice quality beer here from Mikkeller. One to say check it out, see what you think about it. If you've had this one before, the better half, let me know what you think. Put some comments in the comments section and tell me your thoughts on it as well. But with that being said, I appreciate you swinging by to check out another video. I always appreciate you guys taking time to check out some of the stuff that I'm drinking here. And like I said, I really want to see feedback if you have anything that you want to respond on, or maybe some other beers to try or compare to, or hell, if you didn't like the video, just let me know. But always appreciate the interaction and everything along those lines. But with that all being said, I look forward to catching you on the next video and appreciate you swinging by. Keep drinking good craft beers and cheers.